purpose namin this afternoon is yung part, yun yung ginawa po ng St. Peter for as a tribute to Atty. Ricardo Castro. But that is from people who do not know him that well. So this afternoon, we'll be hearing from people na who knew Atty. Castro in different ways, and touched their lives in different ways also. So we've asked them beforehand to prepare. So pinag-isipan talaga to, hindi to spontaneous. But later, if you want, for those na may gusto, you could also say something. But for now, we'd like to first call Mr. Ramon Medina to be our first, to give the first tribute to Atty. Castro. Po, siya po yan.
You know, it's so hard to pay tribute to a friend that you've been together for a long time. I met Rick when he was still in government. That was a very long time. And during those times, I was still very young in the field of HR. And I needed someone to really help me. So I met Rick, and through the years in government, I learned that Rick was a person whose values were very strong. And in fact, during all those times he was in government, you could really see that his lifestyle has not changed. And in fact, he was also a person who was not after fame and glory. I know for a fact that on 2 occasions, he was supposed to be the leading candidate as the Secretary of Labor. But because of friendship, he gave in to those who were less senior. And that's why you have you have like Frank Rilon, who became the Secretary of Labor. You have Ruben Torres, who was also a Secretary of Labor. And that's largely because of Rick. So after his government stint, I saw that even his lifestyle and cars have not changed, unlike many other government employees who have changed their lifestyle. And after that, I asked him to join me in RFM. I was the second guy to ask him to join me in RFM. And after when I was talking to him, he didn't even want to ask for, a retainer that I felt was due to his stature. So I said, Rick, so I would call him, di bagay sa'yo yung retainer. That level,
I can see.
I would rather we go on a case to case. And it's a good thing he, agreed with me. And from that time on, up to even the time when he was able to still go to office and go to the place of Nelson, he was there with me. The other thing that I've seen Rick, because maybe not all of you can describe Rick the way I'm describing. When I invited him in RFM, one of our biggest competitors, the biggest food and beverage company, San Miguel, wanted to get him. And the condition of San Miguel was that if we're going to get you, and we were going, I think they were going to give him 200 or 300,000 a month. The condition is that they leave RFM. Rick did not accept. So it stuck with us. And that's why we felt that friendship, in the case of Rick, was very valuable. And then the other thing is that, in labor relations, nobody can dispute that Rick was the best. And over maybe about 50 collective bargaining agreements I had with labor unions, from the extreme right to the extreme left, we were able to settle it. And sometimes I would ask myself, Rick, di natin masya-settle ito, puputok ito, mag-i-strike ito. Hindi! That's the way he would say it. Hindi! Maayos natin ito. And then with that commanding voice gives you that level of confidence that what he's saying was correct. And true enough, we were able to solve all our labor cases. So Rick, from my point of view, was that kind of a man. Maybe to some of you, he was a different Rick. But I'm sure the difference was almost this, the outcome would be almost the same as my experience. You would have seen him and admired him as a person who was, very liberal to share his wisdom and guidance. And that's why I was saying that, I am what I am in labor relations because of it. And I'd like to tell Rick before he goes, thank you very much, Rick, because you have helped me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Medina, for that. We would like to call also another friend who will be talking of his experiences during the lifetimes of Ricardo Castro. We'd like to call on Attorney Louis Ricardo.
Here, I have known Rick for almost half of my life. I first met him soon after the declaration of martial law. And over these years, we have remained friends. He had always been a fair and honorable man. At no time has he ever said disparagingly of anyone, perhaps except perhaps in jest when we get together and have a bottle of his favorite drink, or one or more, or he firmly believes that in vino veritas, or in wine there is truth. But in all of his actions, he was always sincere and respectful and can be depended upon in times of need. In this play, Julius Caesar by William Shakespeare, Mark Antony's oration about the death of Julius Caesar was supposed to have said that the evil that men do lives after them, but the good is often interred with their clothes. Not true with faith. not through the drink. Because like any of us human being, he might have his own shortcomings, his own frailties, but never did he act out of malice or disrespect to anyone. To his family, he was a devoted father, husband, who is ever loyal and constant prose. His 4 children and grandchildren. In government, which he faithfully served for a long time, rising from the ranks up to the position of Undersecretary of Labor, as Mr. Atty. Medina said, second highest position in government, but if not for political reasons, he could have been the secretary. To his friends, he could always be, as I said, relied and depended upon. Words are inadequate to describe the man whom we honor tonight. I can only say that if there was ever a man to whom the phrase "a man for all seasons" apply, it would be Rick C. Castro. So as we bid him goodbye, we say, till we meet again in the life beyond. Thank you.
So we've heard from friends, colleagues. Now we ask for words from someone a little closer. We joke around na he's the favorite grandson. In reality, he's the only grandson. So, wala pa. Hindi pa lang alam. So, future, di pa lang alam kung sino yung... Pero,
ngayon,
siya muna
yung favorite.
This is how he viewed Pan. Well, let's welcome
RJ, salamat.
You know, ever since I was a child, I didn't know how to name my grandpa. Like, mommy said that he's your grandpa, and then I was thinking like, I could call him Pan. Okay. Then, and every time I wanted something from him, he always buys me at the store, and he always does. And it's like he always do nothing, like he always watch TV, eat, sleep. So if he starts, he was like a best friend to me, like parts. Right, we always talk about basketball, swimming competitions, etc. So he was like great grandfather and father to you all. And he really fought hard in order to survive. Because he was the greatest man for me with instincts. He made our life simple but wonderful. It's like Superman to me. We all know that he's amazing, but let's keep the real Pan in our hearts. For now, he may rest in peace. Thank you.
Siyempre may favorite grandson, tawagin namin yung favorite. Tapos may justification pa yun, explain pa niya bakit siya yung bagong favorite daughter. Yung dating title holder, ayun. Hello.
The throne.
The throne, nate-explain ng ating next. Oh, wala. We'll let her take the floor because she'll be speaking from the heart. Let's welcome Atty. White.
Papa, hindi ko magkukuha.
Kaya nasa kapatid ko pa.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am Rowena Castro, second son. Honestly, I'd like to think that I am the favorite. But unfortunately, the title belongs to my sister. So I honestly cannot really claim it, although kahit sinasabi. Justify ko talaga why ako nang bagong favorite. Because he died on the day of my birthday. So I was there. So in fact, I'm also the only witness na nagpa-flatline ng daddy. So gusto ko sana, I want to claim it kasi na honestly po kami ano naman kanina, parang pinag-protest. Favorite ng daddy ko, ayan. Ayun ka, sister! Tayo! So, I cannot blame the title. So, nag-isip ako ng panibagong title. Siguro ang title na bagay sa akin, I should be the daughter who is yung pinaka-proudest ako. Unfortunately, hindi rin ready sa akin yung title. Yun. Kasi yung title na yun ay kay Rosel. At bakit? Kasi po, doktora siya. Ano ba naman ang title ko? UP ka. Ay, din ako eh. So, natin natin talaga yung professor na title. Kaya na ka naman may controversial yan. So, hindi ko pwede claim yung professor. Kailangan assistant professor. Yung assistant professor, hindi siya kasing level ng doktora. So, yung proudest, the proudest daughter na proudest siya, hindi pwede. So, I have to think of another title. And this time, itong title na to, kahit pa, ikunin mo yung mundo, they will never ever claim that title. And I would like to have that title to be part, kung maaalala ko siya. I am actually the daughter he first loved. Kasi I'm the first daughter. You will never ever claim it. Ngayon, hindi ako pwedeng compare yung sarili ko sa kuya ko kasi lalaki yun eh. So, parang no context. Yun. Ang usapan kasi ng mami ko walang iyakan. So, while preparing the religious recipe, talagang hindi ko kaya hindi iyak. So, I decided na lang to prepare a small short video na tribute sa father ko. This tribute, ginawa ko siya noong 2011, yung for Father's Day. Bakit? Kasi 2011, nung nagka-heart attack si Daddy. And I wasn't here nung heart attack siya. At hindi ko pa siya nalaman until nakauwi ako. Hindi nila sinabi sa akin because ayaw nila magpali ako while I was here. So, 2011. And like my son, I think of my father as my superman. He's actually the first man in my life. At saka every time na meron akong kailangan sa kanya, he never fails to save me. In fact, every time na may problem ako, hindi naman actually yung husband ko yung una ko tinatawag. Please tayo. Ang una ko tinatawag, daddy ko. No matter how small. So like for example, kailangan ko ng pintura. Hindi husband ko ang tatawagin ko, daddy ko. And I remember the last time na pinagbigyan niya ako, although I know that he was really sick, nung January nung palipress ako na i-drive ako para bumili ng pintura. So, siya yung nag-drive. At 79 years old, siya yung nag-drive. Tapos, siya yung nagpalipress na dalhin yung pintura ko sa drive. So, I know, mahal na mahal ako ng drive. And for me, that is already enough. So, alam ko, favorite child, alam ko, practice ka. So, mahal na mahal din yung bago ko. Pero na-knowledge na mahal din niya ako. That is also.
Kung natinanggap ng kami I was in, first time ko nakita si Daddy nung birthday niya. And actually, nagkita na kami before, we had lunch. My first encounter then was, he's everything you would expect of an honorable man and more. But he showed me na tinanggap niya ako. Kasi natatakot ako nun eh. But yung ano nga is, what probably most of you don't know is, nung nag-uusap po kami, he was diagnosed noong February. Sakto pa lang na magkakilala kami ni Sir. When I came to the house nung birthday niya, nag-usap po kami because he wanted to do things his way. That's how I will remember him. Sabi niya, I will not succumb to this illness. If I go, I will go on fighting. So, ginawa naman po niya eh. So, in the short span of time that I have known him, he's, everything that they said and more. He's everything they said and more. Si Sel nga nung sabi ko, nakikidati ka na, tinanggap ka na ba niya? Maybe up to the last, yung official na nagpaalam kami sa kanya, and I said yes, yun pa lang siguro yung may karapatan ako nung makidati dahil sa kanya. But during even the first time that we met, tinanggap niya ako. He even extended the invitation na you're welcome to in this family. Ano ko yun? Kasi I was a stranger, an outsider coming in, and yet he extended his arms and opened and welcomed me to his family. Na hopefully in 6 months time, official na. Pero yun po yung namin kasi December 25 when I asked Sel to marry me, nagpaalam din po ako. And may video kami. So officially kami may huling video kasama si Daddy na he said yes. And he gave his blessing. So that's mga ko. Pero babalik na namin ulit sa the daughter that was first love. Ever.
I took my love and I took it down. I climbed a mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills where the landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the skies, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around you. But time makes you bolder. Children get older, and I'm getting older too. Well, I'm getting older too. So take this love, take it down. And if you climb a mountain, you turn around, and if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills where the landslide brought me down, and if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, well, maybe
si Daddy. That was the first time na na-realize ko na I was afraid of losing him. Na actually na-depress ako. And the only way for me to elevate that depression was to make this video for you. Kaya lang, hindi ko pinakita. Kasi ayoko kasing isipin niya na hindi ko kaya na mawala siya. The truth is, hindi naman po kasi kami pinalaki ng daddy ko nung maging mahina. Being scaredy cat. He raised us to be strong and independent. And I have to be like that. Kaya ayoko makita sa kanya yung video because I want to show him that I am strong and independent. And last night, no, after talking to a lot of, wow, na-starstruck kami kahapon na gabi. Samut-saring Secretary of Department of Labor ang pumunta dito. And they call my dad, si Sir ganito. Si Sir malaki na itulong sa amin. Ang galing ng daddy mo. Lahat, remember, ang daddy ko hanggang music lang. Ito, nag-di-ascend to the Secretary of Labor. And what I found out and realized is that meron siyang isang quality na I think all my life I already knew. And he embodied the principle of leadership with humility. Kaya madali kay daddy na magparaya. So, this leadership with equality. And I think ang challenge na sa mga anak niya ngayon, and even do sa apo niya, is that we should try to achieve and embody that leadership with humility. And dapat ma-achieve namin yon for the rest of our lives. And I guess, as his children, yun yung best tribute na maaari namin ibigay para sa kanila. Thank you po.
So, everyone po who has a word or two, para lang po, before we call on hands, ito na po yung paboritong, the favorite son.
Kasi he's the only son.
Kaya parents. Sige po. I think to wrap it up, rin po, we'll call on the pinamanahan din ng pangalan. So, let's call on
Kuya Boy.
Wala pa.
Diba? Wala. Ikaw na.
Okay. On behalf of our family, thank you for all the support and prayers. Kanina nga, nung nagmamas, every time we pray, yung pagsasagot, please bless the soul of Ricardo Castro. Parang narinig ko na yung pangalan ko. Parang na-imagine ko pag ayun. And, sorry kasi
You say something.
hanggang ngayon may nasikaso pa rin kami doon sa office eh. Kaya hindi ko ma-organize yung thoughts ko. And I just want to say something about my dad. Kasi ang daddy ko malakas makasar eh. Lagi niya inaasar mami ko kasi my mom is very religious. Inaasar ng daddy ko, bakit mo ginagawa yan? And you know, throughout the years, throughout nung asaran nila, I've learned that, kasi my dad, even though he's not really, sinasabi niya lagi na it's more important to be spiritual rather than being religious. Because being religious, parang it's a means to an end. We do religious things to attain spirituality. And my dad, even though hindi natin nakikita yung kanyang mga religious, he's a very spiritual person. And I'm very happy in the end, naging religious na rin siya. Naging yung pinagdadasal ng mami ko for all these years na tupad. Kasi in the last 2 weeks, silang dalawa mag-asawa nagdadasal together. And his life reminds me of, there's this one of my favorite parables ni Jesus Christ. Tinatanong ko nga kanina sa uncle ko eh, na member ng Victory. Kung ano yun, kasi hindi ko memorize verbatim yung story. So the story goes, a man had two sons. And the father, inutusan niya yung first son to do something. Ewan ko, may inutos siya. And the first son said, yes, gagawin ko.
Ba't din dati?
Pero hindi niya ginawa. So, what the father did was, he asked the second son to do the same errand. But the second son said, no, ayoko. But eventually, nag-isip yung second son, and he did what his father wanted. And Jesus Christ ended this parable by saying, which of the two sons did the father's will? The one who said yes, but did nothing? Or the second one who said no, but followed his father's will? And my father reminds me of the second son. Kasi, like, I heard a lot of stories in the past 2 nights about how my dad, marami siya tinulungan, he's a very helpful person. Kasi to me, while I was growing up, I've always idolized, mahilig ako magbasa ng comics. I've always idolized superheroes. And ever since nag-start yung ordeal ni Daddy, I realized the reason why I love superheroes so much. Because it reminds me of my father. Even kahit masama na sa loob niya, kahit naiisahan siya, tumutulong pa rin siya. And he has nothing in return. Kahit may history na yung person na yun ng maraming kasalanan sa kanya, tinutulungan pa rin niya. And since na first detect ang daddy ko, yung illness ni daddy, we're not a perfect family. Pero this 2014, it brought out the best in my family. It brought out the best in my dad. Because you should have seen him, yung crying out in pain every night. I mean, siguro, it's a superhuman effort just to be alive. I mean, what he did, an ordinary person could have given up easily. Pero he lasted this long. It brought out the best in my mom because she showed unwavering devotion and loyalty sa daddy ko. She never left my dad's side. Kahit masama na pakiramdam niya, hindi niya iniiwanan ng daddy ko. It brought out the best in my sister Rowena. Every time meron kaming discussion sa family, something has to be decided. Yung resolve niya is very strong. Pinaninindigan niya, this is what we're going to do because this is what my dad wants. Brought out the best in my sister Rosel. Her overwhelming generosity and selflessness. Brought out the best in my sister Rina. She lives in Canada. Mag-isa lang siya. And she went through all this na walang kasama. And I want to end this by saying that I just want you to know we love you, we'll miss you, and we salute you. You have done us a good service.
Good service.
I miss you. Thank you, Dad, for everything. And don't worry, I'll take care of all the girls. I'll take care of your favorite ako. Ayun, it brought out the best in RJ. This kid, akala ko totoy na totoy, pero all of a sudden, he became a man. Yung kanyang pag-iisip.
Feeling good ako.
Very good siya. He did everything he can. get that thing. I'll take care of it. Di pa lang si Mami.
Tama na.
Ay, dapat pala tayong dalawa na.
Never mind.
Patingin na Mami. Patingin na.
I'm going to call my mom.
The favorite wife.
Walang second life. Walang second life.
Hindi ko akalain napakagaling ng mga anak ko. Because they are the best father. I try to live up to the expectation of my husband. Sabi ko walang iiyak, no? Sabi ko sa kanila walang iiyak, pero I realized na magaling pala akong mother. Kasi sinunod nila eh. Although, well, talaga hindi namin mapigilan umiyak. Kasi forever na siyang wala sa akin. And mahal na mahal namin siya. Sana nagawa namin ang ine-expect niya sa amin lahat. Lahat ng sinabi nila totoo sa asawa ko. Because for the 47 years na magkasama kami, hindi pa nga niya hinintay yung 3 years para mag-golden kami, no? Gusto ko sanang lumakad uli sa altar. Kasi during our single anniversary, wala kami eh. So, nag-aaral lahat ng mga bata. Kumbaga, isang kahit isang tuka kami, ganun. Utang dito, utang doon, para lang makatapos yung mga bata. Kaya sabi niya, I do not want to go another, sabi niya sa akin noon, ayoko nang ulitin yung kasal namin, kung pwede wag na daw. Kasi nga, siguro nahihirapan siya. Ilan yan, 4 sila na nag-aaral lahat. Sabi ko, okay lang naman, sabi ko, kasi he's been a good husband, a good provider, kahit na nahihirapan siya yung financially sa mga obligasyon namin, he will always find ways na masuportahan kami sa mga kailangan namin. Sabi nga ni Richie, kasi ang pinakagusto niya siguro, no, gagawin, kung humihingi kami sa kanya ng anything, pagagalitan kanya muna para maalaman mo na hindi yung binigay sa iyo, pinaghirapan niya yun para malaman mo, ma-value mo ng gusto. Ganun siya. Kahit kanino, kahit sa mga kapatid na, pag humingi ng ito, papagalitan niya muna. Pero at the end, ibigay din niya kung ano ang gusto. Si RJ lang ang hindi niya pinapagalitan. Basta humiling siya, bibigay niya ka. Ganun siya. Sabi nga ni Richie, he never say no. Basta kaya niya, o kaya kung he will find ways para mapagbigyan ka. Kung tama naman ang hinihiling mo sa kanya. Ganun siya sa amin lahat. Ako lang yata yung ang lagi niyang tinatanggihan. Kasi alam niya, pagbibigyan ko siya, okay lang sa akin kahit hindi mo ibigay yung gusto ko. Basta faithful ka lang sa akin. Yun lang ang gusto ko. Kasi as you can see, napakagwapo ng asawa ko. Kaya talagang nilalapitan siya. Pero ang nakakataba ng puso, lahat ng kaibigan niya, malalaki, mababae, sinasabi, mahal na mahal ka ng asawa. Yun lang naman ang gusto ko, mahalin niya ako as asawa. Kasi baka mamaya, totoo lang, nakita ko na how many times na may mga babae talaga umahabol sa kanya. Matanda, bata, byuda. Mostly mga byuda ba? Okay lang sa akin. Basta ako lang ang gusto niya. Basta hindi mo magustuhan sila, okay kang magustuhan nila. Magustuhan kanila. Ako lang ang gusto mo, okay sa akin yun, sabi ko. And yun nga, nakakataba ng puso kasi even Senator Ople, siya mismo nagsabi sa akin, mahal na mahal ka talaga ng asawa mo. Kasi lagi din sila magkasama, di ba? Nag-abroad silang dalawa. So, ayun. Siya nagsabi, talagang he is a very honorable man, sabi niya sa akin. And yun ang pinaka magandang tribute na nabigay niya ng isang tao na kagaya ni Senator Ople sa kanya. He is a very honorable man. Lahat, the word, when you say Rick, it means honorable. Siya yun, and that is my husband. Thank you.
So, supposedly, this concludes the tribute. But of course, sabi ni Kuya Boy, you pay tribute to the man by living up to the knowledge, the wisdom, and the character that he has imparted on you. So, yung life lessons na binigay ni Dad sa ating lahat yan, whether as a colleague, as a friend, as a grandfather, a father, a husband to a wife. So if we live up to his expectations, he lives in our hearts forever. So yun yung ano natin. It does not end here. He will always be remembered. So, but of course, kailangan isa rin chapel kasi may susunod na dito patay. Ang schedule po pala is may spaghetti pa, yung hindi kumakain, pwede pang kumain. After po ng this program, we'll be leaving for the crematorium. Although 8 o'clock po yung schedule, pwede sumama yung ano. And everyone who would like to come with the family may do so po. Of course, sinabi na po ni Kuya Boy and Mami yung mga sentiments ng family and their heartfelt thanks. So, but I would like to call again all the family members here in front to say their thank yous. Para po ano. Lahat, para lang para lahat.
Bakit sila hindi nagkanta?
Hindi ko kita ikaw. Ano bang pinipin?
Si Rina, hindi nagsalita. Si favorite.
Si Ate umiyak.
Is the favorite ayaw. Kasi isa lang siya.
Si Ate.
And during the last hours na before he died, tama niya ang kamay ni Richie. Ang binili niya, yung brother ko. Kasi singer ko siya. Kaya sabi niya si Chito, sabi niya ganyan. So, siya ang binili. Oh, thank you, everybody.
Picture na tayo.
Salamat sa inyo.
Pakita ko lang po.
Tapos lagi tayo nagpapicture. Tada!
Waki, may waki.
Oh,
Makakalo
makakali.
ka sa picture sila.
Photo po.
Waki ah.
Kaya
Okay, James. 1, 2, 3. Tada!